I was working at a financial firm in New York with a group of very smart people, and I had an amazing boss whom I greatly admired. I went to him and told him I was going to start a company selling books on the internet. He took me for a long walk in Central Park, listened to me carefully, and said, "It sounds like a good idea, but it might be better for someone who doesn't already have a good job. You can have a job, you can have a career, or you can have a passion. If you can somehow figure out how to have passion, you've hit the jackpot, because that's a great achievement." 25 years ago, I met someone who said, "I want you to invest in my giant company." I asked, "What are you going to do?" He said, "I'm going to open a bookstore in my garage, sell books online, people will shop online, and I'll ship from my garage. But if you invest in my giant company, one day I'll be one of the richest people in the world and make over $100 billion. Back then, $100 billion didn't even exist statistically. Countries didn't have that kind of money, even national debts weren't $100 billion. And this 26-year-old kid was telling me that because he had a garage and the internet, he was going to be the richest person in the world. That was his truth. He didn't know it, and neither did I. But the difference between him and me was that I laughed at him and mocked him, while he cheered himself on for being on the right path at the right time. I sat there and thought to myself, there's no way this can grow. Do something you're passionate about. Don't chase a fleeting enthusiasm to get through the day. From that perspective, it's a really tough choice, but in the end, I realized I had to take a chance. I didn't think about regretting failure if I tried. I was afraid that the decision not to try would haunt me forever. After thinking it over, I chose to follow my passion, taking a less secure path, and I'm proud of that decision. As a little kid, I used to invent things in the garage: an automatic door closer made from cement-filled tires, a solar cooker that didn't work very well made from an umbrella and aluminum foil, and booby trap alarms to catch my siblings. I always wanted to be an inventor, and he wanted me to follow my passion. There's a military saying I particularly love: as fast as the wind, as heavy as a cloud. I've seen this in every venture I've been involved in. It's the kind of thing that drives progress. You have certain talents in life, and you want to make the most of them. But my advice for success is not to take pride in your talents but in your hard work and choices. Your talents might define you. You might be great at math, and it might come easily to you. That's a talent. But applying that math and taking it to the next level can be incredibly complex and challenging. That's a choice. You can't really take pride in your talents because they're given to you at birth. You can be grateful for them, you can be thankful, but if you choose to work hard, if you choose to do difficult things, those are choices you can take pride in. We can all choose. We can choose our life stories, and it's our choices that define us, not our talents. Everyone in this room has talents. I have a lot of talents too. You can't take pride in your talents because they're innate. You might be tall, you might be great at math, you might be extremely beautiful or handsome. There are many talents, but you can only take pride in your choices. Because if you act on them, you can choose a comfortable life, or you can choose a life full of service and adventure. When you're 80 years old, what will you be proud of? You'll be prouder of choosing a life of service and adventure. There's never been a better time to be alive. The amount of inspiration the world produces for me is incredible, and I think for many people, the amount of change, invention, and opportunity is mind-boggling. Your life is a story you write from scratch. How will you use your talents? What choices will you make? Will inertia guide you, or will you follow your passions? Will you follow dogma, or will you be original? Will you choose a comfortable life, or one filled with service and adventure? Will you give up in the face of criticism, or will you follow your beliefs? When you're wrong, will you block it out, or will you apologize? Will you guard your heart against rejection, or will you act when you fall in love? Will you play it safe, or will you be a little wild? Will you give up when it gets tough, or will you persevere? Will you be cynical, or will you be constructive? Will you be clever at the expense of others, or will you be kind? Every time you find a way to provide tools and services that enable others' creativity, you've truly accomplished something. If you have a career, you're very lucky. Many people end up with just a job. If you don't love your job, you'll never be great at it. All the curious minds of history, Jules Verne,